Alright guys, I know it's been a little while since I did a video with the Impala, but I decided to try to get the reverse lights in today. I opted not to use the cobalt uh, trunk lights. Basically, they're like the reverse lights from the cobalt. Uh, the more I looked at it, I ended up having to rework a big section of the bumper. I really don't have time right now. I'm working on the FC Cincinnati Stadium here in town, so I don't get a whole lot of free time. And what free time I've had recently, I've spent wrenching around on that thing right there, trying to get it straightened up. So I just twisted me up some wire, and I've got some grommets that'll allow me to fill this hole right here that I just drilled. Basically, you shove the wire up into this cavity up here. You can bring it over and tie it into the original reverse light. So I'm going to do that real quick, and I will cut you guys back on here in just a minute. Okay guys, got it up in there. Shit, I actually scratched the paint a little bit, but it is what it is. Grommets in, wires run up through this channel, across through these openings here, all the way over above the third brake light back here, and then they come out right here beside the reverse light connectors. That's the plug that powered up the reverse lights originally. So I'm going to splice into that. Alright guys, as you can see, I went ahead and drilled in another hole with a grommet, and took the rear tail light out. That grommet is basically in the exact same space the factory grommet is on the other side of the car. I brought the wires down. This is them right here. These are the quad tail light taps, where I tapped into the turn signals and tail lights for that mod. Aside from that, I've got a clothes hanger pushed from here all the way through the bumper down here to behind the license plate. The more I look at these, I think I want to mount the lights actually right under here. There's two of them, and they're putting them there. It's kind of out of sight. You really don't see it, and I don't have to modify anything. I want to save those other round reverse lights from the cobalt, and at a later date when I get some time, I want to recess a pair like right in that area on either side. So I just gotta get this thing here pulled through now, and I will be back with you. Well, unless I can get it through with one hand. Oh, look at there. All right, well that went smoother than I expected. So go ahead and pull the excess. As you see, I pulled a lot more wire than I actually needed. Always to have a couple extra feet than not enough feet. So, all right, that's that. The wire's tucked in. It is good to go. I got to come down here and clean some stuff up and wire up some lights. Okay, I just cleaned everything up. I cleaned with some degreaser and then back with some rubbing alcohol. All that undersurface there. As you see, there's this divot here. I'm going to take the reverse light and push it as far that way as I can get. Well, that allows that wire to ride right inside of that divot back into this gap. Well, if I do that on both sides, I can make my joint right back here behind the license plate. If I ever have to access it or anything, it's as easy as taking the plate back off, and I'll have access to that. So I'm going to go ahead and get these things mounted up. They actually mount very easily. It's a little single LED strip. It's metal housing, maybe anodized aluminum possibly. That's what it feels like. And then they came with a heavy duty double-sided tape. We'll see how it goes. I mean, I paid $10 or something for these things on Amazon. They are pretty bright. I don't know if they're reverse light bright. They're actually intended for daytime running lights, is what they were called. But I figure it's better than not having reverse lights at all, and it will hold me over until I get a chance to actually do a little bit of body work later on, when the job mellows out and we're not under the coronavirus. So I will cut you guys back on here in just a minute. Just take this. I already put the 3M on this one. It's got a little paper cover here that hopefully I can get off with no fingernails. There it goes. There we go. Now I want to start out by tucking the wire up and in there, and then slide this as far as I can and press up. Well, that should be it. That's installed, aside from wiring it up. So let me do this other side. Again, push the wire up in there, slide it over, and push up. If by chance that does not work, the company actually sends extra tape. If I remember, I will put the link down in the description of this video. So if you like the look of these and you choose to replicate it, or if you just think the lights will look good on something else that you're doing, we will go from there. So, time just to wire this stuff up. I want to keep a good portion of that wire hanging out. I always like to keep a little extra. I'm just going to coil it up in there and tape it up. I do not actually have the right connectors at the moment, which is unusual for an electrician, but I'm just going to do this the old dirty way, like I would have done it when I was in high school. And I'm just going to strip them out and wire nut them for right now. Like I said before, this is an easy enough access spot. I can always come back in when I get some good connectors to splice these into. Just right now, not really having a whole lot of daylight. The quarantine and everything that's going on, it's kind of hard to come across parts right now. So twist the two blacks together, and I did not have black wire in my garage. All I had left was brown and red, so brown is going to be my earth or my ground on the 12-volt system. So just twist it together. This is a very small wire nut, designed it for like 22 gauge wire, which should work for us. Make sure it's on there nice and tight. Give everything a pull. If it doesn't come out, you're good. Same thing with the reds now. Take the reds, twist the wires together, twist them with the red going up to the top of the trunk deck, and again, wire nut. And that's that. So now, I don't want to just leave it flopping around like that. So I got some Super 33 electric tape. It's the best tape you can buy, in my opinion. Want to give everything a really good wrap. That will help seal everything, and hopefully no water or anything like that gets down in these couple wire nuts until I get connectors on. That being said, the excess here I'm going to take and coil up like so, and I will wrap another rung of tape around there. That's just to keep everything up and under the car. You do not want anything to be falling down. I don't know if you can see it, there's some wiring here. I'm going to take our joint and tuck it up and through that joint right there. And that'll allow us to push it up and in there, and it's guaranteed to stay. Now all we got to do is go up top and wire it into the original factory spot. Okay, I just went ahead and temporarily pushed the wires into the original connector just as a test. So now I'm going to hit the lock button. On a factory car, the reverse light's always flashed. So if I'm set up correctly, everything should flash. Seems to. Looks good to me. Time to get it wired up correctly up top. Okay guys, As you see, wired up the exact same way. It's a green and a black wire on the O2s at least. Green being your positive, black being your ground. And I'm just going to take this and tuck it up in there, just like I did the quad light harness, if I can, with one hand. There she goes. And now that's it. She's run all the way through. The only thing left to do is to close it up and put the license plate back together. So I'll put the license plate on and I'll see if I can't get a couple shots of the reverse lights when it's in gear. Alright guys, there it is, all wrapped up. That's with the reverse lights on. I don't know, again, I don't know how bright they'll be once it's dark. It's still pretty light out here, so it's kind of hard to judge. But I think they'll be bright enough at least to let another car know if I'm backing out of a parking spot, because that's been an issue a couple times. When it gets dark, I'll try to catch another shot and throw it in on this video and see how it does at night. It is pretty dark out here. Ooh, there's my reverse lights. That looks pretty bright to me. So I don't think it's too bad. If you see, they are pretty dang bright. So can't really complain. I like them. Sorry about the road noise. But yeah, they actually light up the plate a little bit too, so that's kind of cool. So alright, but yeah, that's what they look like. I will see you guys on the next video. Have a good night.